I want to transition over now to what I think might be kind of indicative, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. What might kind of be indicative of some of the problems out there, and that's really the foreclosure rates. What we've seen and what we track is list pendings. That first notice of default. So effectively, if borrower hasn't paid for 90 days, the bank starts to begin the process of moving forward with the foreclosure because the regulators may not allow them to sort of work out a forbearance with that borrower. We saw in 07, at least in the Tri-County area, there were about 33,000 foreclosure filings. We saw in 08, Tri-County area, Palm Beach, Broward Day, we saw there were 76,000, and then last year there were 97,000. As I look at the first quarter of this year, we've actually seen about a 21% drop. And some of the things that we've been told is that ultimately the banks are trying to work it out a little bit more. Maybe the banks aren't able to move forward on the foreclosure because the government is requiring certain steps to keep people in their homes, things like that. So I guess my question to you is, A, are foreclosures a telltale sign of the state of a bank and how it's standing? And B, what does it sort of reflect about the overall marketplace and where these foreclosures are occurring?
Let me take a few minutes on that because Peter asked a very important question. Not sure where to begin, but let me just go ahead and start saying a couple of things. I get calls from homeowners, and condo owners, and condo associations. So homeowners, condo owners, and condo associations. I get emails from the public because my name's in the media a lot. And I'm just the head of the Florida Bankers Association, okay? I mean, come on. I mean, I'm only teasing you, but I do get these calls and emails and saying, Mr. Sanchez, when are the banks going to foreclose? And I was like, man. Because I'm sick and tired of looking at that eyesore across the street from me. Foreclose on him. I want somebody in there who's going to keep that property up because my property value is going down. Because they can't keep it up, or they haven't kept it up, or they abandoned it. So foreclose now. Or I got condo associations. Hey, Mr. Sanchez, you're taking your time. Foreclose faster. Because we want our condo dues. Wow. And then I have the attorneys calling me saying, you're going too fast on the foreclosures. We get a billable rate, you know. Hourly, and you're going too fast. You want to foreclose too fast. I'll tell you what I said with the governor in a statewide news conference. If you're a Florida family living in your primary residence, show a need, can enter into some sort of repayment plan, the bankers will work with you. I said that publicly over a year and a half ago. I haven't been called out on the carpet yet by anybody. Oh, by the way, you can't have two Lexuses in the driveway. That's a game changer. Because, you know, we got to get back to our parents' values. You got two Lexuses. It's like your brother-in-law who just went to France on a 5-week vacation, sends you a postcard every day. When he gets back, he asks you for a loan. What would you say about that? Same thing I would. You know what that is. So we want to work with keeping people, and what I've told and shared with Peter in the past, in an interview with the Orlando Sentinel, they shared with me that they hired somebody to do the research on the cases filed in Central Florida, and only 50% of the foreclosed cases in the Central Florida area were homesteaded property. One of your commissioners told me last July that 25% of the foreclosed cases in Dade County at that time were homesteaded property. And my quote to Peter's predecessors in the media has been, the only flipper that I want to see in Florida is the one in Key Biscayne's Aquarium. Because you know what? I just had a story told to me this afternoon by one of our bankers. He had lunch with 4 other bankers, and the waiter at one of the restaurants said, hey dude, hey, I heard you guys say banking. Are you guys bankers? He goes, yeah, we're bankers. Hey man, look, I own 6 investment properties. 2 in Dade County, 2 on the West Coast, and 2 in North Florida, dude. And, you know, like, tell me about this foreclosure thing, and I really would like to know about it. And then when our banker said, well, what are you talking about the average price of your properties? About $350,000, $400,000. You're thinking what I'm thinking, right? The only flipper I want to see is the one in this aquarium. If any of our friends are looking at those late night, you know, DVDs, you know, that one guy, he's getting older now. He started as a young Turk. Hey, buy my CDs and get rich quick. You can buy those properties for nothing down. Look, this is not the purchase of a car. We're getting the car mentality in America. Come to the lot, sign and drive. No. This is 10 to 20% down, man. We're talking about a home, the biggest investment in our lives. We've lost that. We've lost our way. And then we have people saying, don't worry about it. I'll get you in that mortgage because I'm getting my commission and I'm selling this mortgage off in the secondary market. And then you go see him a week later, they'll give you the Sopranos line. You talking to me? Do I know you? They made their money. We've got to get back to blocking and tackling for you college football fans out there. The fundamentals. What was that waiter doing with 6 investment properties? You want to tell me? He wanted to flip them because we had a lot of that where the x-ray technician from Mount Sinai Hospital came down, bought 6 condos because his buddy made $100,000. He found out about it. He wanted to do the same thing. The music stopped and there were no more chairs for him to sit down. And now he's crying. You know what? I have no sympathy for that person. And that's part of the 96,000. I have no sympathy for that. I do for the Florida family who's his primary residence, can show a need, can enter into a repayment plan to keep that Florida family in their house. And I assure you that our banks are working to keep people in their homes. I know people haven't paid 2 years and are still living in their house. 2 years, man. And I tell you, we've got to get back to the values of living within our means. That's a message Washington needs to hear too. See what's going on in Greece? Think it can't happen here? It might. We've got to live within our means, both individually and as a country.
So are we, just from a banking perspective, are we likely to see more of an attempt to try to restructure or short sell maybe some of these products rather than lenders going the way of foreclosure, just kind of as we go forward?
I think, you know, my words of encouragement to you and to the media is if you know anybody, if you're getting in trouble and saying, oh man, you know, don't run and hide, that doesn't help, contact your lender right away, face it, deal with it. And I assure you, if you're dealing with an FDIC bank, which I encourage you to do, because banks have reputational risk. Yes, we've had some bank failures, but for the most part, you know, you've got 300 choices in the state of Florida. You know, hundreds right here in South Florida. Deal with your local banker, and they'll work with you. And the last thing they want to do is manage property. Obviously, there's because of the regulation we have, you know, at some point, unfortunately, both the banker and the borrower have to face the music, of course, and it is, you know, and after you exhaust all possibilities, unfortunately, foreclosure is sadly the last, you know, option. But work with your lender, because, you know, we'd rather have you get you through this, both as a commercial customer and as a residential customer. So I think, you know, short sales, all those instruments, Peter, are, yes, they're used, but again, the important thing is to try to keep you in that business, try to keep you in that home.